Hello everyone, good day to you. I hope you are all doing well and getting into your happy place. If not, get into your happy place, no matter what. If you have to detach yourself from your bodies, go ahead and do that, This is as much a spiritual journey for everyone as it is, more so actually, than it is a physical journey. And so, the physical body, obviously, all the bodies are so close to each other that it's hard to tell. So getting yourself well needs to be fun and joyful, and no one person has all the answers, but if you look to nature as your barometer and ask yourself how nature does these things, you'll be better off than if you ask yourself what man thinks. Because we've talked a great deal about the mind and how the mind can lead you down some wrong pathways, or pathways where you're lost for a while before you circle yourself back around. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all spending 20 minutes, a half hour, a couple times a day in contemplation. Pull yourself back from your bodies and bask in your nowness and your beingness and your allness, and appreciate that. Because you're all beautiful. We get confused out here in the lower bodies, and the mind tears us apart and separates everything. But in the end times, we're all the same, guys. And I love all of you. You guys are doing well. Facebook, you guys that are diehards, I'm right with you there. And these are discussions at other levels. Hard to have on this because we don't want to give mixed messages. But at one level, that when you achieve some lofty heights, it's just different for you, and it's hard to explain that to the others. I have not seen how far somebody can go with this. I'm seeing a lot of you guys go farther than I did, and I thought that was pretty good. And I've always said, the young will always go further, and I just love you guys. I don't know how far out there you can go with this. When you see bodies realigning themselves and tumors obviously coming out, nervous systems rebuilding and everything else, that's exciting. How deep, how far can we go? Maintaining a balance, of course, or you get yourself crazy out there. It's so much energy, so much power, but I'll tell you, there's nothing more rewarding. Everybody's done the old grooves down here in the physical world. For those that are attuned to this site, we are all one, and the power of that is amazing. And so let's all keep that consciousness together as one, and we will get a lot done here, and then your lives will be tremendous in all ways, You got to always remember healing crises, though. I see this a lot of times, and some people wig out during healing crisis or the process to get well. They intellectually know and they intuitively know, but then when they apply, it's a rumpy road sometimes, and all types of things can happen. And we talked about that on the last video, which Chris is just now getting up, I hope. We're having some software problems here. But, it can be a bumpy road. But understand that the different levels that are out there and the levels that are a waste of time, it's just like a lot of systems of spirituality can be a waste of time for the advanced soul. All the advanced soul does is have to awaken to the present moment. You don't have to go through a process of training or seeking or things like that. I've always said the seeker of God never finds God, because the seeker is God. It's like God trying to seek and find itself. It's just some of those little tricks to understand that the simplicity of it all, and yet the complexity that it makes out of it. Because there's a way it gets lost so much, So I wanted to carry on. I'm not in a full-dress jargon today. I'm out jeeping a little bit, getting a lot of things done, changing lights and doing that role a little bit. So forgive me on my Mickey, but just wanted to try to get some more of these questions answered for you, I'd love to be able to get all these caught up someday. It's like yesterday, there were so many serious cases there that, it just keeps making me want to say to you, if you're a serious case, definitely don't wait till the YouTube responses. Call in, because serious cases need to put the pedal to the metal like yesterday. I don't believe in waiting and playing around when you're looking at stage 4s of anything. And, but it's everyone's choice. And I think that there's such a lack of understanding that there is remedy. Sometimes you wonder in law here in America if there is any remedy. We had a little downtime there for a second. The camera doesn't like our energy sometimes around here. It goes, oh! But talking about dialysis, it's so important to keep these kidneys healthy and well. And they do not like proteins. And I've offered this many times before, and I showed a medical doctor once how that was when he came to class one day with extreme kidney weakness, almost holding his right kidney. We had the iris camera, and I looked into his eye, and I said, man, bad genetics. He said, I've had trouble off and on for years. So I told you that story where we put him all on the fruits and the herbs, and in 2 days, virtually no pain left, getting stronger. 3-4 days, no pain. 5th day, we were doing a raw food kitchen, and what it would look like to have a raw food kitchen. And they made Giuliano's meatloaf. But traditionally a lot of people put nuts in their stuff. And that's the thing, a lot of these raw food places use a lot of nuts. And it's like, no, there's a lot of people that don't want the nuts. So I just had him taste it. Second bite. Oh God. I said, protein. Can't do it. Especially when you're in pain, and especially in kidney failure. Not a smart thing. I don't care who tells you what. So, fruits, berries, and melons, Dwayne, and tear it up, brother. I hear you're doing good. You can see why your blood pressure is so high. It's kidney failure. And I always said, remember, the top blood pressure number is the adrenal glands. Your bottom pressure number is your kidneys. Systolic, adrenal, cardiac punch, neurotransmitters. Your diastolic is your pressure in your pipes. Like if you turned on your water at the kitchen sink, if that out there, that's too much pressure, right? That's what happens. And so the kidneys control that. Remember, the swinging blood pressure comes from swelling, inflammation, or lymph stagnation in the cerebellum. That's when you're high 1 minute, low the next. Okay, the adrenal gland teacher, good. He's on the kidney formants and just recently started to really hit his lymphatic system hard by adding our lymphatic 5 caps to the mix. Now, make sure, though, that you don't hit the lymphs too hard if he's not filtering, especially in kidney weakness, because it's like bringing in 1,000 people in a room that only holds 100. So you have to kind of play that by ear. For those that are working with people with tumors, if you pull too hard on the lymph system, you'll see the tumors temporarily grow. And it's no big deal. It's just that tumors are holding pockets. They're storage bins for acid, sewage, that the body's trying to keep from the cells. That's why you don't biopsy. If I have any message for anybody out there, especially the females with breast cancers, don't biopsy. These guys are crazy. They know. And now they're using the metal chips in the breasts. Jesus, as if you're going to go with them no matter what. I mean, they're just full of insanity, in my opinion. You never biopsy. I have a friend that's an osteopath. His brother's a surgeon. I asked his brother one time, why do you biopsy when you know you're opening up an isolated chamber of toxins and acids? His reply was simple, and I'll quote, "It's my job." I don't want a job that I am responsible for hurting others. I don't want that job. It doesn't matter how much it pays, because in the end analyses, karma is karma, and no money on the planet's worth it. I can just tell you. Losing one's freedom is not worth any money. And that's what karma is tying you to that. Although there's good karma, I guess you could say. But to soul, It'll lock you on both sides of the fence. So you don't want a biopsy. It doesn't matter. A tumor is benign or not. If a tumor has cancer cells in it, it's just because it's around its interstitial fluid. It's around cells. And, of course, those cells that are encased in acids, they're going to break down. And that where's the body going to take them? If it has a little bit of a pathway, where's the body going to take these damaged cells? There's only one place. Lymph nodes. Of course you have cancer cells in lymph nodes. Why? Cancer cells is just mutated, damaged cells. Don't get confused with the word cancer. That's their smoke screen. These are damaged cells. What immune cells in your body takes care of these cells? Macrophages. And those are found in the lymph nodes, not interstitially, in the lymph nodes. So it's real important to understand that whole system is a cleansing system to the body. It has to be. The blood can't feed and clean and deal with both sides of chemistry and everything at the same time. That's insane thinking. That's not even practical thinking. So it's important to understand that role of the lymphatic system and why we get these cysts, these pimples, these boils, and things like this. This is sewage. And one of the biggest food sources that create mucus and create boils and acne and stuff like that's dairy products. Hands down. Cheese, milks, ice creams, kefirs and yogurts. Don't be fooled. I was fooled at one time thinking raw milk yogurt was good. And that was after I was a fruitarian. I got fooled a lot along the way. But that's why I can talk to you today, hopefully in some degree of rationale, because I've been through so much, And even though I haven't been perfect in my life, at least I've been through some of the humps and bumps, and I can save you guys from doing that. I mean, if I can save you guys from taking some dips that I did, let me do it, because it'll save you time, it'll save you, pain in the butt, and keep yourselves well, We teach each other by experience, and hopefully I can bring my experience to you, and serves you well. And I look to your experience to help me. And I look to those like the ancient ones and those high spiritual beings that are, ageless in a sense, not physical, for their God advice, I mean, this is how we learn, is those that have walked before us, those with experience. And so, not here to say I'm perfect. Work on it. I don't even know what that word perfection is. Doesn't matter. Do not, though, be cautioned with biopsies, because what we see is what I'm sure they see, is that once you do, it explodes. And it rapidly creates serious problems. I've had tens of thousands of breast cancer cases in my life. Same story, except for those that come before they do that. Same story. And it's like, man, why do they even do that? Leave it alone, because you got to get rid of that no matter what. They need to learn black salve herbology, how you pull that out, or simply how you fix why you've got it. Because remember, in the earlier stages, now I talked to another lady in here with breast cancer, and she had a friend who had a pea-sized tumor who's now dead. I told you of another beautiful lady. She was in 20-some. Her husband wanted to do chemo. They were scared and all that. And I said, please, it's the size of a pea. Pull it out. Get rid of it naturally. Those are easy things to do. She is now dead. So, we're looking at a modality that is the top killer of humans on the planet. And we look at that with respect. I think we need to readjust the way we see things. Because we just can't keep going down this archaic road of black magic and stuff like that deals with pseudoscience and things like that's only hurting people. That's insane. But things are out of balance, and that's why you are so very, very important. Because that's so important why you keep yourselves in balance. If you feel yourself getting out, figure out how you're going to do that, or write me a YouTube thing. Eat something cooked if you have to. Keep yourself in balance, because a balanced individual is a great healer, and one with common sense, ability to overview, ability to look at nature as the large laboratory that we have access to. You know, we talk about these laboratories and these universities and stuff. Excuse me, we got the largest laboratory we have access to, and that's everywhere you look on this planet and in this universe. Incredible. Incredible. So you've got to get tumors out no matter what, whether benign or they have cancer cells in them. Who cares? Sometimes out of fear, we do things that accelerate our death when we didn't have to. That's why I say lose the fear. Understand the lymph system, understand what lumps and humps and dumps are, and get rid of them. All this. And the kidneys, what Dwayne's fighting here, the kidneys is that pathway. I don't care what the medicals say. Kidneys and skin, sweat, 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 pray for fevers. And again, with low thyroids out there, you guys don't sweat well, and that's a problem. You don't sweat, you don't filter in the kidneys, you're locking everything in, guys. And that's where all the breakdown starts happening. Go after your bowels too, by the way. In addition to the formulas, Dwayne is applying the power of a high-fruit diet and doing an awesome job, if we may say so. He's up to date BP reading as of 11/5/2013 is 107 over 107 to 119 over 69 to 82. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is exactly what you're going to see there, Dwayne, is you're going to see your top number go low, because this is a low blood pressure case. All high blood pressure cases are low blood pressure cases. Why? Because the adrenals and kidneys are always involved. You're looking at those for blood pressure readings. And you got one on each side, so do your left side and check your right side, because you have a kidney and adrenal bilaterally. And you have different blood pressures each side, depending upon the condition of the adrenal on each side, that's the systolic, and the condition of the kidney on the bottom, which is diastolic. And beautiful. He brought himself down from 103 to 69 or 82. Oh, fruits don't work, huh? Interesting, huh? Yeah. Good job, man. Good job. He's enjoying the raw lifestyle and does not plan on going back. You know what? Good job, Dwayne. Good job, Sarah. All you guys, I love you guys. This is just what you do. This is what you do when you're in trouble. You get to foods that are easy to digest, foods that are self-cleansing, foods that are high energetic, high nutrition. Can't get deficiencies eating foods like this. Give me a break, man. Stupid thinking. So you're doing well. And that, anyone out there that's facing this, get on this. Get your kidneys fixed up, because you don't want to lose your ability to pee. That is not good. Not good. All right. This is Iman. To make a long story short, I've been suffering since childhood from fatigue, cold hands and feet, foggy memory, acne, bad body odor, wrinkles under eyes, dizziness, and on and on. Oh, man. Last year when I turned 30, man, I'm 30 years old, son. You're way too young to have a list like that. See what I'm saying, guys? See how much in trouble the world is in? So you guys stay strong no matter what. Don't cave in to the negative forces nipping at your heels, because they will. You'll have the naysayers. You'll have all these people that are lost in space. Keep trying to nip at your heels. Don't falter from that. Know what is truth and be strong in that truth. And practice how to communicate it. Go talk to the plants and the animals. And at 30, he stopped sleeping. Over a year later, still not sleeping. In the last 10 years, I have been juicing on and off. Just recently started incorporating a more fruit-based diet, eliminating meat, dairy, and wheat. I hope so, Iman. You should have got rid of dairy way, way back. Which of the products would you recommend I purchase, and or diet recommendations too? My thyroid checked out as low as 0.33. So that's what, like 95? Wow. I'll tell you what, and this is why I do this, and I hope this is why you guys do this. This poor lad has been suffering from all kinds. Look at this. All right, so let's go through this. And here is a list of endocrine gland problems a mile long. Fatigue. All right, so first gland we're going to go to for fatigue is adrenal glands. No question about it. So there's an adrenal gland case. He's 30 years old, so that's a given. How bad it is to see how low his blood pressure will go, especially after you start getting the pressure out of the kidneys and keep getting the kidneys to filter. That blood pressure will go down to your genetics. Before it comes up, it tends to always go to that genetic reading. So whatever that is gives you a good look. Because anything below 118 is really low blood pressure. 120 really. Anything below 110 is a lot lower. Anything below 100, very chronic fatigue. And then you get into your 80s where a lot of the babies are, and 90s. It's not good. I mean, they're not happy. Neurological weaknesses all over the place. Cold hands and feet. Well, that's obvious. That's a thyroid right over there. And then he's showing you the basals, which are very low basal temperatures. Now, foggy memory. That means that because of this adrenals and the kidneys, of course, this young man has heavy lymphatic issues in the head. And that brings on foggy memories. And, of course, if he has high candida problems from having poor sugar metabolism from weak adrenals, he's going to have foggy memory from that. So this is important because he'll be a dementia Alzheimer's case in his 50s. And you got to stop that. That's ridiculous. So you got to stop that for this young man. Acne, of course, that's just the skin saying, oh, I'm trying to wear the burden, but my God. And of course, with the thyroid and low temperature, it holds all those acids right there, keep breaking down the skin. So you want to get sweating and get into some salt baths or get into the ocean, but you got to get yourself filtering. That's number one. Now look at this, bad body odor. Of course, that's from the dead animal tissue and stuff like that. You know, anytime you eat eggs, you eat meats, you have dairy products, you're going to stink. These are animal products, these are proteins, and proteins putrefy. They stink. And if you don't want to stink, then don't eat these dead tissues. Wrinkles under eyes. Well, first of all, under the eyes, of course, is always going to be the kidneys. But wrinkles at age 30, so what else is involved? With the thyroid, you also have what? Parathyroid. That's your calcium utilization. So all those people you see with wrinkles all over them, that's parathyroid weakness. And you can take someone with chronic wrinkles and get their skin as toned and as beautiful as you want. Done this for years. But you got to fix the parathyroid gland and move what system? The lymphatic system, to where the body isn't sucking calcium out of your client or yourself. Now this gets good. All right, dizziness. All right, he's backed up here in the head. It'd be lucky if he's not balding. You get dizziness. This is the cerebellum. Now, here's a good case where you can assume a pituitary problem. All his glands appear to be down. Now, one other one is down. He lost his ability to sleep. The pineal gland, your third eye, the tisratil as they call it, it's down. He can't sleep. So this young man needs to get on some glandulars. I mean, I hate to say that, but this is a case, because this is going to be a chronic case here for him. Really get those kidneys, adrenals moving. Go after the pituitary, go after the thyroid, parathyroid, and I would, if it was me, I'm going to take at least a couple of pineal gland glandulars, at least 2 capsules before I go to bed, at least an hour before I go to bed, and see if I can trip this up. You need to try to get a good cold and flu-like symptom. The diet is essential. You need to be all raw, and at least 85 or 80% of that fruits, berries, and melons, because you want to stop detox. And my guess is you're also going to find malabsorption, my friend, because you're backed up all the way up into the head. And you don't want to get into these head pressures and then the glaucomic pressures and the MACDs. And at your age, you're a young man. So you need to fix all this and get yourself turned around. Go after that 14-week protocol. Go after the kidneys. Go after the lymphatic system. Clean your bowels. Use the GI broom. Get into that body. I'd definitely do upper circumbrain and nerve if it was me. Classic 2, I love them. Upper circumbrain and nerve. Get blood moving more aggressively to these brain cells and start strengthening the nervous system. Bringing the adrenal glands up will also give you more neurotransmitters and will strengthen the myelin sheaths. Very, very important to pull yourself out of this one. And you want to get these things going. Check your urine. Make sure you're filtering. That is really, really key. Fill the boot, as they say. Fill the boot. Get that sediment right down in here. Get that sediment in there. And if you need help with that, call in and have Jen B help you up with a protocol or something, because you need to get that going. This is Rob. Hey, Rob. My son's name is Rob. As always, thanks so much for your time and patience. You got it, man. I don't know how much patience I have, but thanks a lot for that, What are your top 5 male enhancement herbs? That's a good question. And, I was just dealing in a case. I've got a new male reproductive formula here. And I guess I say I like Damiana a little bit. But when you get up into most of the other male reproductive herbs, you're getting into some hot herbs here. And I'll take a look at them again and get back with you on them because I don't know. I have to be cautious in looking at this for the yohimbis and everything because, and I just had a case. This is a friend of mine, and he loves to go into Brazil and got into Panama and Costa Rica and stuff, and he likes to have, things working properly. So he went on testosterone because these PSAs are from 5 to 6. And that's serious. That's some real serious PSAs. You can have, I've seen a young lad with a PSA of 2 with prostate cancer. So his PSAs have been high for quite a while and very dangerous. So, of course, that tells you that the testosterone levels are low. So now, we talked about this on past videos where now they're pushing for male enhancement testosterone. And so now he took it, and finally he got a new urologist that said, you can't do that. And I'm going, thank you, an honest medical doctor. And so he stopped it, and guess what happened? Crash and burn. So I have to think about which ones I would consider better, and but they're going to be hot. So if you don't have prostatitis, then I like the ginsengs. I guess the yohimbis are good. I like Damiana because it's a little bit of an enhancement without the heat so much. Foggy even is a good strengthener. I think our gland tonic is going to be good for that sort of thing. Coming through the endocrine gland route, that's where your power is going to come. So I would go that way. And I'll look up some more and see what I think on them. Right offhand, I'm not thinking about that today, so I'll look up that up. There seems to be a lot of hype around it, and it is. And you know what? And it's just that you got to realize that some herbs like ginseng are hot. Keep in mind that Panax is not considered for female use. Not Damiana, but what's the female herb for that? I've got brain fatigue today. So much going on. But there's the female side of the ginseng. Gosh, just not coming to me. But anyway, these ginsengs are real hot, and they're tonics which strengthen over long term. So I think that male, the endocrine gland tonic that I've got, the gland tonic, is going to strengthen every gland you got, including the prostate, the adrenals, and those are the 2 you're going to look at. So I think that I would go that route. The ginsengs for sure is well revered, but these are long-term use herbs that build strength long-term. You don't see a lot of benefit initially from these things. Overuse, and I pointed to the 256-year-old Chinese guy. Can't even pronounce his name. Just Google it on Google. 256-year-old Chinese man, and his story will come up. Claimed to use ginseng 5 times a day. I would make strong my adrenals, my prostate. I would clean my body and make strong what I have. Now, lower circulation is a formula that has helped a lot of men. So lower circulation, moving blood more aggressively to those parts that you want to use better. That sort of thing. But I have never been one to really use the yohimbis and really get into some of these real strong male enhancement herbs. We sell the male reproductive formula. I think she's got that on sale, by the way. But and it's strong. And if you don't have prostatitis, then I recommend our male reproductive formula for anyone that likes that. But you want to be careful. You want to make sure your kidneys are filtering and all that other stuff, because for those that have higher PSAs, it is important that your testosterone is low. Because when those men that don't have low testosterone and their PSAs are high, they climb much faster and they burn much more. Medically they blame testosterone and estrogen, the acidic steroids for cancers. Really, they're just icing on the cake. They're just like pouring gasoline on top of an already burning fire, which is the lymph and cell waste not being moved out away from the cell. And so when you add the testosterones and the estrogens into this mix, you're really setting off a bonfire. And the cells are the ones that get hit. So that's the thing, the fluids are trying to bring that balance to that. So I would really work on my adrenals, first of all, for any male or female issues. You really want to work on your adrenals. Go to the pituitary is not a bad place to start either. So I'll get back with you on that one, a little more on that one. Also, what about bugleweed? Well, I've never known bugleweed to be really a male enhancement herb, more for a circulatory and kidney herb, to tell you the truth. Also had a recent overdose mishap with poke root. Interesting. I took about a round teaspoon of the dried powder with a few others. A couple hours later, I was in agony, cold sweating, couldn't move, pale gray skin, and projectile vomiting. That's why I like formulas. And you bringing up some good points here. I really appreciate this email thing. In formulas, everything's buffered. When you start getting the dry herb, poke root is known as a toxic poisonous root. But in small dosages, it moves the lymph and breaks up tumors. But you can see what happens when you overdo the pokes. The bloodroot's the same way. Bloodroot is so powerful, it is the main herb at pulling tumors out of the body. Very beneficial for doing things topically. But ingesting it has to be in small amounts. And that's what this is about, is just getting wise to that. You learned a lesson there. It's like my hair. My hair was not always white. My hair turned white, when I saw the light of God, but really turned white when I poisoned myself with quinine. And I've talked about that before. Peruvian bark, don't even try it. It is not worth what you have to go through, and then the process of getting it out of you. And neurotoxins are hard to get out of you. So you want to be careful with these things, I tell you. And so, in your experimentation, be wise. Start with real small amounts, because this was a good example of what happened there, my friend. My stomach felt like it was turning itself inside out because it's such a powerful herb. Make no mistake, you think pharmaceuticals are strong, herbs are extremely strong. Used right and properly, they're miracle workers. Used wrongly, they kick your butt. Just what they did there. Sorry you read that, Rob. I have never experienced something so agonizing and horrific for a short time. Well, this Peruvian bark kicked me for years. For years. And I tell you, I just like, holy crap. You just have to, clean your body out and stay away from those. And we use those in our lymphatic formulas, but I use only 10%. I don't use over about 10, 12% of poke, blood, any of chaparrals. I stay around those percentages in the formulas because at them they're safe, they work together, they're great lymphatic herbs, you'll get more done, but using high amounts. I have never experienced something so for a short time. I actually thought I was dying. I was rushed to the ER, no kidding, in a ambulance. Went through 4 large IV bags and checked out about 5 hours later after they gave me anti-nausea medication. Holy crap. Boy. See, that was a butt-kicking experience. I'm telling you. And well, you know what? Your experience help others. So maybe that's a good thing we're bringing this up. Yaz, you're over there sucking these babies down, but you're sucking down the right ones. Yaz is in Thailand, and he's doing major herbs on himself. And he's just like, he's getting way out there. But he's using the ones that are not toxic, like poke root and stuff. These lymphatic herbs are the strongest herbs in nature. Let's put it that way. So due respect to the lymph system and due respect to the lymphatic herbs. Let me tell you, Rob, oh my God. As a disclaimer, I realized I up and actually 100% responsibility for my slip up. It's stories like these that the FDA folks love to get their hands on, Oh, absolutely. But you know what? If you overdose, matter of fact, you don't even have to overdose on probably 100 pharmaceuticals and they still kill you. So the FDA gets a hold of these stories, but you know what? That's because they can use that against. They're the evil ones. I hate to use that because it's not true. They're the misguided, the unconscious ones. Because any FDA person comes and says anything about that, then we need to be back in their face and hold them accountable for allowing hundreds of chemical medications that have high fatal events tied to them that are still commonly used today, like Cipro. But there's a lot more herbs, pharmaceuticals out there that have fatal events. This didn't kill you. Sure did purge you, but it didn't kill you. On the other side, pharmaceuticals will flat out kill you. And if you overdose on those, they'll super kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take a look at that and look at the difference. The difference, I was telling you the story about the lady that had the black scab that she claimed took off a big part of her nose. Let me tell you, a surgeon would have taken off her whole nose. The herbs only take out what has to go. The body only gets rid of the weaknesses that's weak. It doesn't get rid of things that are strong. But you got to be careful with the herbs. But you got a good respect for them now, Rob. I just thought it would be a good idea to let everyone know. Absolutely, to speak with caution. Absolutely. In your book, you speak very highly of pokeroot. I do. But in proper amounts. That's why I think that for all you healers out there, get herb books and learn about them, read about them. There's a lot of great herb books out there, and there's herb schools. Some of them are easier to get a degree through online or through discourse series. Emerson was a great one in Canada. Minion is still a great one in Canada. There's Christopher schools. Christopher's the one, though, that still had the Peruvian bark in his book, and I never did call him. I should have and said, you need to get that out when you reprint, because it is not worth experimenting. It's like what you found there, but I will say that most books, including Christopher's, tell you about the poisonous effects of pokeroot. I don't offer herb books up like that because there's already plenty on the market. I don't need to write an herb book. But it's enough to say that be familiar with the herbs. And I welcome anybody to research the herbs I use and understand that. I don't give the percentages because we kind of, tweak our formulas and kind of keep that a little private. But in most lymphatic formulas, when you see blood or pokeroot in my formulas, I only have 10% at the very most, which is not very much. And you don't need a lot because you see the teaspoon just about took you down there. So, be caution to the wind, everyone, but at the same time, herbs are beautiful and you love them. 98% of them are not like this. But when you're talking about the cancer, the lymphatic, the tumor herbs, those are strong ones, graviola and all that, and they would like to get rid of them completely. That's not the answer. Education and wisdom is the answer, not get rid of it, because then we have to get rid of all the pharmaceuticals, because they have much more harm than what poor Rob went through. Some of them damage tissue at an alarming rate and then later become the bad drug. Look at how many, like Accutane and things like that, you took innocently. Didn't know it, didn't kill you right off. Long-term effects, now bad drug. And this is the problem with pharmaceuticals. So when you're comparing the two, no comparison. Good take, Rob. God bless you, man. I'm glad you're back on your feet again. But a good story to tell your children and to tell people, absolutely. But don't let that ever stop you from loving the beauty of herbs. Because, you can use homeopathics. They're the essences, but they don't have near the effect that the herbal, tinctures and capsules do. And then, nothing is like pharmaceuticals. Those things are as dangerous as an alligator. All right. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Logvin is the last name. Young fruitarian looking for your help. Okay. I'd appreciate if you're going to answer my question in a YouTube video. Please use the nickname. Oh, sorry, man. It's too late. I better not read it then. Percy, rather than my full name. Okay. So maybe I won't read this. Do I have a way to get a hold of you, my friend? Holy moly. Now let me look through this for a minute and see if there's anything I can help you out here. So sometimes some mucus. When you start detoxifying, you're going to see mucus in your stools. That's no question. This individual's been on an 80-10-10 diet or a fruitarian for 4.5 years now. 100% no exceptions ever. Pretty strong fella here. He's only 22 years old. Basically, fruit throughout the day, sometimes salad at night. I'm also a competitive runner. Good man. And after 1-1.5 years of raw vegan, my performance plummeted. Oh, man. So I did a 28-day supervised water fast in the tropics. I've rebounded. Now, how interesting is that? he went on a vegan diet, lost his energy. Of course, you got to realize that when you break away from proteins and things that you do, and the difference between a fruitarian diet and a vegetable diet, big difference. He went down, did a water fast, and regained his power. Now, wait a minute. You didn't get any nutrition in there, man. How did you regain your power? There's no nutrition. I love that one. So, no, you did well. I tell you what, when you have problems like this with the bowels and anything, you get in there and you really start. You can use, anybody that has internal bleeding or hemorrhoids, you can use that bleeding formula. At the same time, get on the stomach and bowel formulas. My stomach and bowel formulas I made as restoratives, not laxatives. And I beg to differ in anybody that takes laxatives and the effect that the negative effect they have on your body. I'll say this, it's rare that I use a laxative. When I do, I use Schultz's, which is Christopher's, because you really don't need to go to that extent. You need gentle movers. And that's why I love Cascara Sagrada. I beg anybody to fight the difference, because my formulas are not addicting. They're gentle, and they have high slippery elm and marshmallows, anti-inflammatories, heals the mucosa, But at the same time, always in all these cases, make sure your kidneys are filtering, because you can be a fruitarian and still have difficulty getting your kidneys to filter if you have high genetics in this areas. And that's why I like the botanicals to bring in on this, or the glandulars to help open these doorways, and then set them aside and go on with that. So there's a lot of good things you can do. The Hill All tea is a really gentle tea too. You can brew it down. Don't make it so hard or so strong, and then drink that and let that clean through the kidneys for those with kidney weakness and those that having bowel problems and things like this. So I don't know how much to read of this, because I already told his name. But I would definitely fix up my GI tract. Tell you what, man, get me a picture of your eyes. And, well, look at that. That's another thing. When you can't figure things out, get a picture of your eyes, because there's the story told in picture form. And take a look at that. See if you're chronic in the bowels, that sort of thing. If you fear real bad, do a colonoscopy, even though understand the limitations of colonoscopy, and there is some damage to the bowel sometimes by some of these docs. So I don't know what to say about that. I don't believe in excessive colonics either. No offense to colon therapists, because they're angels. But at the same time, don't overdo that. Don't innervate the bowel. Get on a good bowel restorative program that cleans and heals and neutralizes acids. Cleans the bowel pockets. Internally, you're moving lymph, which will start moving lymph interstitially in the bowel wall. Get on your, make sure your parathyroid is working to strengthen up diverticulums, which are bowel pockets, and prolapsus or spastic bowels. Start getting your connective tissue strong in your body that way, And I don't know what to say. I'll say this: if one gets too high on the totem pole too fast, might need to come down for some balance with some vegetables. Hard to do that sometimes when you get into these high fruitarian lifestyles, because they're so energetic. They make you feel so good. Sometimes it's hard to step back down. Sometimes you need to keep the body in some type of semblance of balance. But, you just have to see where you are on that. So give me a picture of your eyes, if you will, and tell me who you are, and I'll take a look at them. Sorry about that. Dear Dr. Morris, let me see. Thank you so much for watching the videos. I thank you guys for watching, and take care of yourself. I'm just a simple individual out here trying to help people get well. So when I see all you beautiful people taking it on and writing it, and you're getting your lives back, I'm humbled, tremendously humbled, to be honest with you. I love you guys. I have read your book, and get it not to treat a symptom. Yeah, because you fall into that, and especially when you're working out with the public. Then you bring the smell of the hounds, like the states and the medical doctors, because you're kind of crossing into their world, although they're trying to cross into our world. I don't mind that. But give respect where respect is due when you do that, I respect a good medical doctor, and I will tell them so. But I don't respect a lunatic. And the same thing with naturopaths. I mean, if you don't get it, then don't call yourself one. If you can't help people get well, change what you're doing, because there is regeneration, and it's simplistic. We have a lot of great medical doctors, don't get me wrong, that are practicing this level of thinking, and their successes are skyrocketing. These are the kind of docs you want to look up and go to, because they're well-rounded. If you ever have a stat or emergency need, they're there for you that too. So I think a good medical doctor will be a naturopathic medical doctor, where he'll have the grounds of raw foods and detoxification and herbology. And then he can practice, or she can practice those things, get you well. If you need a pharmaceutical in a stat need, like a high blood pressure or something, you'll be on it for very short term, perfect. But that's not what's going on out there. So we just need to merge a little more. This is my question. I am starting your detox program and will be following the protocol for 12 weeks. I have gotten over the fear of taking all these herbs at once. Yeah, I would. But if you're not, always start out with a Fab 4 or start out with a first detox kit. I can tell you, I run 7 formulas to 8 formulas about on each case. Now that we see so much genetics in adrenals and kidneys, I might have one more or so, but in most cases I try to keep it simple and to the point. If you got lung problems on top of that, or liver, I'm going to go into these other tissues with herbs to help you fix them. I use a lot of brain and nerve number 2 nowadays because it's so strengthening to the nervous system. We have so many neurological weaknesses out there, it's not even funny. Weak adrenals, weak neurological systems. But keep in mind, I have good friends, and I've said this before, I don't think she'll mind, but Shania Twain is a beautiful soul. Hit the raw foods are running, baby. And she was taking 23 of them at once. That freaked me right out. She's a little woman. But he was doing 17 at a time. And these are people that take things on and go after it and are successful because they do that. These are great, high spiritual souls. But I only recommend about 7, 8, or 9 formulas at a time. And if you have to, start low. Always start low. If you're a little bitty person, start at a half a dropper full. Go by weight. I'm one of the only few companies that, not mine, but I put by weight on how you do that. That way it'll help you there with the children and everything else to how much you would be recommended to take. But sometimes you're a big person and you only can take a little bit. There's no big deal with that. And there's no big deal to starting low instead of high. I always like to start a little slower. That's why I kind of have a little 2-week jaunt to get things going. What's important, though, is you just don't do one formula at a time thinking you're going to be successful, because I tried it that way before, and that's why I created programs. Because it's like, okay, all right, you want to get and you want to go. You want to wake up the dead. You want to hydrate those fluids. You want to get filtration going. You want to get out there and get the body going. You don't want to be forever doing this. You want to get in and get out. So you want to do your best and go after this. Now, on the other side of the coin, I've had people full bore with these for years. So when the FDA say something about poker, I just happen to have little over 80-year-old women on these for years. And nothing but success. So I have the other side of the coin. But then I don't give a whole teaspoon of poke root. Woo! Man, got your butt kicked there, Bob. Whew. Now, however, I am concerned that it may lower my already low blood pressure. Well, that's why I say take a glandular. If you have the desire to do that, take an adrenal glandular, the New Zealand glandulars, I would. And if you're real low, take 400s. If not, take 200s. So if you're 110 or above, 200s. But if you're at 100 or so, take 400s. And do 1 3 times. I would do 1 3 times a day. Because this will pick up these adrenal glands. And like I said, I can't imagine why medical doctors aren't using glandulars. This has fit them perfectly. And they could get away from steroids, which crash and burn the adrenals. They wouldn't have so much of this. And get out of this constipated thinking, Everyone can grow and expand their awareness, whether you're a medical doctor or a federal judge. Please. The whole idea is the betterment of the human race no matter what. When you get into the other side of greed and control and narcissism, Bad karma doesn't serve anybody well either. So, honey, you got to take something for the adrenals and support those adrenals while you're doing this, because it's like this Dwayne, he's seeing now lower blood pressures. And he's going to see some low blood pressures because his adrenals are involved here. That's why he's on an adrenal formula to help kind of bring that out. Sometimes you can't stop the body from doing whatever it's going to do. You just kind of work with that body and try to do your best with it, because you and your body have to be friends. And you have to understand what we've been doing to our bodies through conditioned thinking. Wrong conditioned thinking. So we have to recondition ourselves. And not always easy. But I've got all levels of doing this at all ages. And I'm telling you, if a 100-year-old man could go on Raw and do herb soaking every other 100-year-old man, it's all about attitude and viewpoint. All life is changing your attitude and point of view. And that's all it is. Sometimes nature rips and pulls until you do. I like to change mine as soon as I know that I'm thinking down the wrong way. I like to, okay. The butt kicking at the end isn't always fun, I have to say. There's other kinds of butt kicking besides herbal butt kicking. There's spiritual butt kicking. I am going to do your 12-week program, exercise, and do biofeedback for relaxation. I would keep exercise to a minimum. You know, when you're doing a detoxification program, rest, contemplate, yoga, tai chi, get yourself, this is a time to empower, not spit out energy, hold, build, increase, awaken, build energy, build that nerve force in the body. This is your time to relax, to treat yourself to relaxation and meditation or contemplation, where you're giving yourself a big hug and everything else too. You're bringing in the God power to flow through you and to go out and touch others. Because this is intelligence. This is consciousness and awareness. And you're consuming it. So give yourself time to relax and stretch and have fun. Go to Mickey World. Of course, one year I saw him fly the World Bank at Mickey World. Oh my God, I knew that's where they were getting a lot of their money. The World Bank. Oh my God. Even Mickey fell to the World Bank. Too bad. I've been talking to him a lot about that too. Let me see. Is there anything else that you feel I should do other than what I have listed below? Above. Should be above and below. No. Do you have any other products that you feel would be helpful for bone loss? Parathyroid gland. Two things. When you see the loss of calcium out of structure, why? Fix that why. That's acids. Right off. It's the only thing that leaches calcium out. Acids. All right? Because the other side is calcium. So, acids. So what system deals with acids? Interstitial fluids, the lymph fluids. So you get your kidneys filtering, you get your lymph moving. All right? Number one. Number two. Fix the parathyroid, because it doesn't matter how much calcium you consume, it's how much you utilize, isn't it? It's the same thing with everything we've been talking about, with deficiency and everything else. It's not what you're consuming, it's what you're digesting, it's what you're absorbing, it's what you're utilizing. Hormones and steroids, utilization. So fix that, sweetheart. Definitely go into the fix that. I'll make sure this is a woman. Sometimes I get carried away. Carol. Let me see. Oh, she's doing a sauna too. Yeah, that's how you do it. This is time to take care of the self. You know, you guys deserve that. No matter what society and the heaviness society puts on you to have jobs and everything, take some R&R. And some of you are young. Need some R&R, you know, to fix yourself up and get your genetics back in line. Right now we want to put money towards products and not testing. Well, I agree with that. You know, because, you know, the best test is free. Your eyes. That's your best test. Look at your eyes, see what you're up against, and go forth. Because everything else is either toxic or whatever. You know, like I said, I spent years in nuclear medicine, and man, every morning there's that red box with the skull and the skeletons right there at our door, and we're going, oh, okay. Holy crap, you don't know these things. You don't think about these things. Big TVs and people that sit in front of computers all the time. That's why I can't get to computers. So I have to use readers. Let me see, is there anything else that, listen to what calcium utilization is off, so yeah, use your parathyroid gland, fix that up, absolutely. Let's see, these are some of my blood pressures, 109/85. She's age 55. So 85 is too high, honey. So get that 85 down to 60. Now you're at 105, all right, or 109. So if you take 85 and you bring that down to 60 to 70, what's going to happen to 109? Yep, you got it right on. You're going to go way down below 100 probably. And so you're going to really feel that fatigue from that. Don't get beat up. That's your adrenals. Go use those glandulars. Because when you're chronic like that, got to use those glandulars. They really help. If not, hit the herbal formulas, and I'd add licorice to it. We took our licorice out of our adrenals because people have to take it even with high blood pressure. But licorice is great for low blood pressure. It'll pull up your blood pressure quicker. And it's more like a cortisol. It's anti-inflammatory. Or antacid. She's got a pulse of 61, which is okay. The lower the pulse, the lower the thyroid. BMI 20.01. I have difficulty going out for a swim or being in the sun. I have been on your diet for 2 weeks, and that has gone, and my concentration. Oh, that's good. That's good. And my concentration and mood has changed incredibly. Good, only for 2 weeks. So, keep going. Now, if you go like this, up and down, don't get upset if symptoms come and go, because that's what happens, and that's how detox is. You feel better, then you feel kind of go down, then you feel better. When you're feeling better on detox, and you feel better and better and better, then you feel like you're getting some lows, look at your diet. Get rid of the vegetables. And then those downswings will start coming up, and you'll start losing the downswings, and you'll see why we talk about the use of vegetables in a negative way sometimes. Now, if you're just living life and going on, no big deal. You fixed everything. Blood pressures are up. Okay, great balance. Still hard to digest. Still takes nerve energy out of the body. Yes, but you're in good shape. Everything's good. No big deal. But when you're going after detoxification, these are not foods to eat. These are foods to eat for more balance. Again, big differences between the herbivore design and the frugivore design. So that's good. We are so grateful for your book. Oh, thanks. My energy is fine now. Yeah, good. Even with low blood pressure. Keep in mind, your 85 is a little too high. You need to get that down into the 60s. And then that's going to lower that 109, probably below 100. So you might feel a little fatigued. Don't get upset. That's just you fixing your things and bringing everything in line, genetics in line, and you're going to rebuild genetic memories, and you'll see how you can do that. We are eating fruits all day, some veggie drinks, juice, kale, salad, and some seeds. We will be improving the oil on salad. See, and so she's feeling better and better. Now, when that seems to plateau, get rid of the seeds, get rid of the salad, and keep the juices. Just keep playing that game and watch that go. The seeds are soaked for a day and then put into a dehydrator because they have a heavy feeling to digest. No kidding. So anything that has a heavy feeling for digestion is taking your energy away. What if you got a big old tumor there in the breast and you need the body to get rid of that? Energy is at the core of movement of everything, including fluids. So if you're going to rob your body of energy through digestion, lymph will move slower still. When energy goes here, you get tired, your limbs, you don't have energy to walk, you just want to go to sleep, the brain can't think. So you want to empower the body with energy. First, you got to eat the energy foods, which you're doing great with that. And just watch that, and it's just how we teach each other about how these things are. And you wouldn't know these things until you practice it and do it. And you guys are doing it, and I love you for it. You're doing so well. High respect for every one of you. I am off all supplements. I'm eating some dulse, nori, and kelp. That's a smart thing, a great thing, especially because of the iodine in kelp here with a little low thyroid. I take no medications. I am buying a mini trampoline and will be swimming once again since my stamina has been corrected. Yes! And keep going, because if you have strong genes, those of you that have strong genes, oh my God, You can tear it up like nobody's business. You can get so healthy, it's not even funny. I mean, I don't have the strong genes that some of you guys do, like George Burns genes. And I mean, those that do, my God, I can't even imagine where you guys could go. I can't imagine where you could go. Amazing, amazing stuff. I have yellow in my iris. So you got some sulfur. Pull that out. Maybe you got some fungus in the body. Keep going after that. I probably need to put on a few pounds. Well, get the malabsorption, get the yellow out, get all that out, and then go after that. I have 1 bowel movement a day, and that is why I am starting your program for lymph. Absolutely, because you probably should have 2, realistically. I have advanced periodontal and advanced bone loss. So again, acids, adjuncts, lymph, and you see your blood pressure is a little high on the bottom. That's kidneys. So you're starting to see that lymph system there. Low blood pressure, of course, the adrenals, not really turning on the kidneys for you, wasn't turning on your nervous system for you. So these things accumulate. Whenever you start, not filtering, clean up this GI tract, get your lymph filtering, and rebuild. My teeth are very crooked now, so check on that parathyroid gland, because there comes in a point. You're going to lose calcium to acids. That's going to warp teeth, bones, hands, limbs, everything else. Boy, would I love to have that beautiful girl on X Factor. I would love to have her. She is so cute, so beautiful, sings like an angel, and she has mutated limbs. I would love that case. Anybody can get to her, get her on raw foods, and get her a life. She is such a sweetheart. That soul is a bright light. My teeth are very crooked now. It was recommended that I get gum laser treatment, but I feel that my system has to be corrected. Yeah, get in there at the root cause. You guys are great. Your thinking is right in. Get to the root cause of these problems. You only have 2 sides of chemistry. Pick one. Right? And there's only 2 major fluids flowing around all the cells that are in your gums and teeth. Pick one. I get pain in mouth, jaw, and I know that my kidneys have filtration problems. You're right on. You're right on. Bags under your eyes for over 3 decades. You're right on. You beautiful souls. You get it right on. You're on your way to Wellville, sweetheart. Just keep plowing the field. Keep on going down that line. And just keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Use your eyes. Clean that out. If you have blue eyes, you obviously do, or you wouldn't see yellow. Definitely get blue eyes back. On the right side of my face, the bags are bigger, and the right side of my face has dropped. See what I'm saying? We talked about this yesterday in a video, how each side bilaterally different. So did you give me a right blood pressure or a left side blood pressure? Most medical doctors only check the left side, check the right side. You're probably going to find a lot difference there having that bigger bag on that side. Good take. Good take. And if you're getting a little droopy here neurologically, so you really want to get up in here. Me, I'm doing upper circ brain and nerve. I'm getting my bowels cleaned down. I'm getting my kidneys filtered. I'm getting my adrenals up. And I'm going after Mr. Parathyroid. Check and see if you have transverse colon problems in the eye. If you do, go after the pituitary. Check and see if your menses when you were menstruating was irregular or excessive bleeding. The pituitary is right on. If you're a little short or a little tall, you got pituitary problems there, little skin pigmentation, vitiligo stuff. No one would notice this. Yeah, you're very attentive to yourself. Skin has moles and liver spots. Okay, go after them. Take a parasitic formula. Probably have a lot of fungus in the body with the orange there, with the yellow sulfur. So take a formula like that until they fall off, till you're starting to kill them and they fall off. A few wrinkles also I have, very little gray hair, good deal. I recently was stretching and have lost range of motion in one arm. It was so painful that I went to a doctor to see if I broke my bone. Well, because that's lymph. Lymph is that stiff, tight, ow, ow. Acids and lymph, acids and lymph, acids and lymph. Absolutely. So I'll go on, I stretch it in. I guess the acidosis has pulled calcium from my bones. Yep, you guys get it. I love this. My teeth x-rays do show the bone is gone. Build, baby, build. Move the acids out, get the parathyroid up, and rebuild. Don't think you have to live forever like this. You're only 55. I am going to start oil pulling. I don't know if I recommend that or not. Do you have any products other than the detox that you recommend? Nah, go after upper circumbranial nerve. I would go after that lymph system aggressively. You don't need to have more products, not the better. It's the right ones focused in the right area of the body. That's the key. Don't waste your money on products you don't need. Your focus is tissues and the fluids that take care of them. That's simple. That's simple. Doing a good job. Your head's in the right space. Everything's good here. Let me see. Should I do detox first and then get to the deep cleansing for gums? Well, with the gums, I'd do the Heal All tea if it was me. I'd make the tea and cut it down a little bit because that's a douching tea. But I would do just to cut it down a little bit and put it in my mouth, spit it out, and the whole same way watching TV or something, and start washing my gums. Now this is strong, it's astringent, so it's going to pull a little bit, but start washing. See if you can get some expectoration in those gums topically. That's the only other thing I'd recommend you do, something like that. Definitely keep that mouth, get pH papers, make sure you keep your mouth alkaline. If you have to use bicarbonate toothpaste, baking soda toothpaste, a little cinnamon in there. Go on an antibiotic. The dentist recommended that, and I know from your books, you know what? I mean, it's not about the bacteria. Dentists, finally, my dentist is starting to use the word acids more as opposed to bacteria. So I'm getting to him. Of course, he's helped me out a lot too. I've got the same problem, born and raised on dairy products. So my lymph system has been a mess. I've worked on it for all my life. So not aggressively all the time. Just, life doesn't always give you those kind of things, especially when you're poor as a church mouse. Any information would be greatly appreciated. And now we can help some people. I had no help. And I look forward to having an appointment. Oh, thanks a lot. And I appreciate the thing, Kara. Appreciate that. This question is Pick4guy. Pick4guy. If I eat honey, does that mean I am not considered vegan? I don't know. I wouldn't say that at all. I consider myself a fairly raw foodist, and we got some honey in here from Canada. Oh my God, this stuff is unreal. I'm not much into honey anymore because when I was in my 20s, I literally burned out for using too much of it. And you can use too much. I use, and some people use the propolis. I use the royal jelly in my superfood bin because it's like queen bee food, because everybody's nutrition crazy. So I use that one, and a little bit of royal jelly can go a long way. But I wouldn't consider that. I know a lot of people have different terminologies like bee poop and bee vomit and stuff like that. But you know what? Bears like it. Villagers in New Guinea like it. A nice sweet, better than anything else out there except a good medjool date. I love your white horse. This is Flying with Horses. Yeah, I told this story of the Pegasus. Let me see here. All right, let me go through this. This is kind of long, so see if I can get through this. This is a 36-year-old female. She's on the road to Wellville, and she's got Candida put up here. Dearest Robert. Hello, dear. Hi again, dear friend. Thank you so much for your videos. Thank you, sweetheart. I dug a little too deep and tried to rush my arrival to Wellville. Now slow up then, balance yourself out, honey, and slow up a little bit. I have been using a purely herbal black salve, oh wow, on a large mole in my groin, which I have had for about 30 years. Well, that might leave a little bit of a hole. That stuff gets in there deep into the bloodstream. Since I was a child, I also studied my eyes thanks to your videos and found a dark spot in my groin area. Oh, how interesting. Look at that. It's funny because fungus, moles, and things start growing where there's fermentation and weaknesses. Isn't that interesting when you look at nature? It's not to fear, it's to understand how it works. And then you got the rules of the road, but no one really gives you the rules of the road when you get on the planet. One day, maybe they'll have the rules of the road, help you both spiritually in terms of beware of the overthinking and over-academics and keep it in balance, and also how do you keep the human body fit and well and keep the microbes from getting too aggressive in there. Although I did not pay much attention to this as I did not understand what this meant. Having also been on antibiotics for many years, I have been aware of candida issues for many years with major carb and sugar cravings. Absolutely. You know, I use the Parasite M on myself, and I'll do it a month at a time, come off a month. Whenever you crave a carb, I'll say not a carbohydrate, a starch. We have a tendency to use carbs as a nickname for starch, and really carbohydrates are fruits and vegetables and berries and melons and things like this, carbon chain constituents. But when they're complex, they're starches. So when you crave starches, pastas, grains, things like this, or cheeses, fermentable foods, fungus is picking up again. And I said in detox, you can reach in and pull out deeper beds of this. Use an antifungal. Herbal formula for a while until that craving goes away, because you could pull cycles of this up. And if you have moles on the body, take it until these moles start falling off. If you have a mold and you're going to use black salve, you just put a very little bit on the head of that mole. You don't need much. Like Rob's experience with poke root, you don't need very much. Having also, I remember in one of your videos you advised that kidneys must be filtering before using black salve, otherwise the body will use the new area and release the channels for your toxins. Well, that's the thing. It will. And so sometimes you have to use that even though you're not filtering because of the stat need you're in, the emergency need you're in. But if you open up the body and you're not filtering, the chances the body using that and oozing pus and stuff out of these holes is strong. Some people are so toxic, they ooze vaginally, they ooze out of the eyes, they ooze out of the belly button, they ooze out of the ears already. Well, I guess my kidneys weren't filtering as well as I thought, as after a few weeks on black salve application, the whole area around my mole became a ring of white fungus. Yeah. I've been taking large doses of an antifungal tincture alongside detox herbs, and stopped all intake of any sugars for 2 weeks to help eliminate the fungus. But in a rush to clear the candida, I overdid the herbs, which led to chronic thrush, with all the skin around my groin area becoming inflamed with candida. Well, you know what? Just balance out. Just come back and balance out. Slow up on the herbs. Definitely keep the kidney herbs going. Try to work on kidney filtration. That'd be a kidney and adrenals, maybe one lymphatic. Don't pull too aggressive with the lymph system, because that's going to, make the whole ooze. And stay on something like Parasite M and antiparasitic for a little while, in balance, and let all that heal up and get gone. My nerves also reacted with twitching, and it really was a 2-week visit to Wellville until I cut back on the herbs and I learned to be more gentle and patient with myself. Well, yeah, I've done that. I mean, these are some of the things that we have to learn, and I think that everyone has to take it at their own pace. There are some people can slam them, and there's some people that have to draw back. And so that's why I like to go slow at first, kind of open up the doors, get everything moving, and then put the pedal to the metal. But you're smart thinking, sweetheart. It's just what you do. You did everything right. Because I do the same thing. Black salve on a mole shouldn't take over a couple of weeks to pull that baby off, but could leave a little hole in there for a while till that tissue heals back up a little bit. As soon as I cut back on the herbs and stopped the black salve on the reactions reduced, and now I'm detoxing at a pace my kidneys can cope with. And this brings up good points, Find this rhythm. It's a good, gentle rhythm for yourself, and enjoy that rhythm and go after that body. Some people's rhythms are higher than other people's rhythms. Some people can't even do herbs, and yet some people slam them. Amazing to me. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. All my skin around my vaginal area and groin then became releasing a clear liquid lymph. Absolutely. For 2 days, absolutely. You already started that drawing, so you're just seeing that a little bit of a cleansing going on there. Absolutely. And the skin was red, raw, like from an acid burn. And that's what bloodroot is. It'll burn a hole in you. Absolutely. But it draws and pulls into itself as well. Get a comfrey salve, some type of nice calendula, some type of nice horsetail, comfrey, golden seal salve. And I have a healing salve, just trying to get them to remake it now. You'll love that salve, but just let that tissue heal up and you'll be in good shape. I wondered if my body was releasing acids from excess estrogen. Oh, could be from I was on a pill for 12 years. Oh, that's possible. You bring up a good point. That is possible, too. I would douche a little bit with the Heal Tea and kind of clean that canal. At the same time, find yourself, if you can't find it in a health food store, we carry a comfrey salve topically and put on there. A real healing to tissue there in all ways. Absolutely. And heal up those tissues for yourself there, and you'll be in good shape there, sweetheart. Within a week after the healing crisis ended, I noticed the fast growth of cervical polyps. Wow, I noticed the fast growth of cervical polyps and found it helpful that you explained that these are areas of acid that the body has pushed. Absolutely. And that's including bowel polyps the same way, and that's including thyroid polyps the same way. Whenever you see swellings and expressions of polyps or tumors, it's a lymph, and it just means there's no filtration or little filtration in those areas. Now, I don't know what to say. You know, Jensen talked a lot about it, and I brought this up before, that in your genetically weakened areas, lymph is a lot more stagnant. And so some of these might be some genetic areas that are weakened and you see more stagnation. Use the detox or the Heal Tea to douche with, and I would douche at least once a night for 2 or 3 weeks. I trust that my body will heal these naturally in time. Absolutely. But get your kidneys filtering. Put yourself, come up the ears and put yourself on a 10 or 20 day grape fast. Do something like that. That'll pull your body into balance like that, to tell you the truth. Or, a 3 to 5 day water fast. Something like that will start bringing everything more into balance for you, and then it'll start healing. But I would do a 10 day grape fast if I was you, sweetheart. Although it's been a scary, painful time, lasting about 6 weeks in total. Wow. I know it's a positive learning curve and a sign that the nasties are being cleansed out. Well, it seems like this video is about learning the rules of the road, isn't it? I mean, it seems like we've got this kind of thing going on. I find that interesting when we're doing videos, that things seem to correlate in the direction we need it to go in. Thanks. So it's just, these are all good lessons that we all learn in going on things. There's nothing good about having big moles on you either. That just shows weaknesses in that area, and that you are growing creatures in that area dealing with the weaknesses of the lymph. And that does give you an idea that your lymph was stagnant in the groin area. And that might also take vaginally and everywhere else, maybe even rectally, because colorectal cancers are way out there. So people don't notice these things. Like when they go colonoscopy, they see a polyp, they cut it off, and no big deal. Well, it is a big deal, because it's like, how did that swelling get there? What's the body doing? And again, when you have excess sewage, the body's going to store it. And when you have weakness of connective tissue, you can get diverticulums, herniations, things like this. So all of this plays a role, in it. So cleansing and strengthening are the two aspects of life that are essential at every level. Cleansing and strengthening spiritually. Get rid of the thoughts, get rid of the desires, get rid of these things, and spend some time in the allness of the now. On the physical side, get these toxins and these acids out and strengthen that tissue that make up that tissue, the cells that make up that tissue. Because outside of that, you can see there's nothing else on this planet that makes sense or works. Everything else is treatment-based, and you feel a little better, but you don't get to the core reason. And then we pass it genetically, and now look at where we are. We got kids calling in here with serious trouble in their 4s and 5-year-olds, and you got the teenagers. I feel sorry for all of them. You got the 30-year-olds in trouble. So we're a society that has to learn a little more about the rules of nature and the rules of the road, and then work ourselves through these cases. Don't beat yourself up. I think you did good to learn, sweetheart. You did good. That'll all heal up nicely. But it shows that you have a lot of lymph stuck in those tissues there. Get those kidneys filtering. And by the way, just because there's sewage in the urine doesn't mean that both kidneys are filtering. How about that one? We don't have a test. We're just now growing up to the fact what the kidneys actually do, because yes. Hey, young man.
How you doing?
Good. You want to sit? I'm shooting a video right now.
I know. I can see that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You want to have a seat?
Sure.
Yeah. You want to say hi a minute?
I just wanted to hug you.
Oh, well, come give me a hug, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh man. Are you heading out of town?
I'm going to California.
California. Another YouTuber is at our class going to California. Hello, everyone. Want to say hi?
Sure.
Sure. I want to say hi. We're just kind of finishing up here a little bit. I thought I'm kind of running around, jeeping it today.
Yeah.
I got my Mickey on.
Looking good.
and thought I would just,
Hello.
yep, communicating here a little bit.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
No, not so bad here. This one lady's been through a little bit of Hellville, getting herself to Wellville. So I'm just kind of finishing up this here. Yeah, have confidence, sweetheart. You know, when you have a problem like that, you can call in here and say, look, what I've done, what can I do to get myself in shape here? She used some black salve on a mole, real aggressive, you know, and stuff like this, and what she's been through. So she's putting herself into balance there. You know, mostly with raw foods, and that's what you do. Or you put yourself on a 10-day, 20-day grape fast, and that'll pull yourself into balance doing those things like that. Onwards and upwards, my healing journey continues. That's right, sweetheart. Definitely, definitely. This lady from the UK, my dear friend Joseph, the white horse in the photo. I love Joseph. Look at this Joseph. That's the most beautiful white horse I think I've ever seen.
Crap.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's nice.
Needs to have a little unicorn head on there, and now you've got a unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell that's a spiritual horse. Look at the energy coming out of that photograph. It's like, man. So
that's a nice horse. You want to ride that horse.
Lena from the UK. Actually, just wanted to add that I found essential oil baths with Dead Sea salt very helpful when my skin was inflamed. Absolutely. Salt, alkaline, healing. Absolutely, sweetheart. I throw people out in the ocean out here. Been up at the beach and out there water?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Every day.
Been to drumming circles yet?
I went, yeah.
Oh, nice, ain't
cool.
it? You can get carried away with those babies. We have drumming circles down here on the beach, which really can go crazy. Sometime I'll go out there with my drum and we'll take a picture of that. Having fun with that. I'm not that wild, but I'm a wild musician, man. I like to go crazy that way because music carries you, know, on the winds of music. You know, this looks like Pegasus. Your horse looks like. You sure your horse isn't Pegasus without, not showing you the wings? So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, salt water draws out toxins. If you're any skin problems, psoriasis or anything, throw yourself into some salt bath, salt water. Go inside and keep moving lymph. I know you're unsure about bentonite clay. I am. It's a good drawer. Probably take a little bit in a bath with some salt. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Just let me know what you think. It's being used as a glue. Yeah, I was concerned about that. I read about that. And, people have been using bentonite clay in these bowel formulas for years. And then I read that they use it as a glue. And I'm going, what? So I don't know. There's so much misinformation, information, like caution to the wind, Yeah. Absolutely. I used it 3 times this year now internally combined with psyllium husk powder for a 28-day colon cleanse. I've got it in the GI broom, but only about 2 to 3%, guys. That's all I got in there.
Ooh, herbal enemas.
Herbal enemas. I found it fabulous in cleaning mucoid plaque and also really beneficial for the skin. Absolutely. Clean from the, also go to the lymph and clean from the inside out. That's a good one. Of course, I was taking herbal teas and tinctures. Isn't she good?
Good.
She's as beautiful as her horse.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, baby. It's just how you do it. Can I see what a cholesterol ring in eye looks like? This is Kim. Well, let me just hang on right here. Let me show Kim what a cholesterol ring looks like in the eye. Excuse me just for a minute, guys. How's your trip been down here? Had fun?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Had fun in the school?
The school was amazing.
School was fun, wasn't it?
School was too. Yeah. That's why I'm still around.
Yeah. I haven't left. I think this class was buzzing pretty good.
Oh, it was nice.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun.
It.
Yeah. Let me show her our cholesterol ring here. Oh, I know. I tell you, I got so much of this in here. These are my cards. You know what would be hell, wouldn't it? Pick one, and that was your life.
Oh, I got a good one.
Oh, not bad. You got sulfur, you got nerve rings, you got a lot of lip.
I can deal with that.
Oh, all right, so I want to show you this. See this white translucent ring around the eye? That's a cholesterol ring. Now look at this eye. This eye is all orange. Sulfur. Heavy, heavy sulfur use. And you see this white translucent ring. It generally starts up here, and we call it arcus senilis. And then it starts to invade the body because the more acid you become with weak adrenals, your body going to start using cholesterol to fight this. It's going to be oh yeah, I got all kinds of pictures from years and years. I mean, look at that one. Some real nastiness in there. So that's what it looks like, Kim. You don't want one. If you do, take a upper circulation, especially if you have it in the head area. Take upper circulation. Keep yourself from stroking. Ooh. Mybearso.
Mybearso.
Hi, Dr. Morris. I've been watching all your videos for over a year now. Thanks, man. Love you, man. Appreciate it. Cancer just hit close to home. Oh, man. My 28-year-old sister, 28 years old. You know, we've been talking about it in the kids in class. Look at this. Here's a 28-year-old female with cancer, just diagnosed with 2 thyroid nodules, and 1 is cancerous. She really doesn't want to get her thyroid removed. Boy, I wouldn't. But she doesn't know what to do. What can I tell her if she chooses your program? What would the herbal protocol be? And would she want to avoid glandulars at first? Thanks for your help. Much love to you. Much love to you. You know, I tell you right off, I would drop a 40-day grape fast. You know, it seems like a long time, but I tell you, it isn't really. When you put your head into it, it is food you're eating. I'd carry grapes around with me constantly and eat constantly, and I would hit on an extended grape fast at the same time. I'm going 2 kidney formulas. I'm doing 2 lymphatic formulas. I'm cleaning up the GI broom. I'm using a stomach and bowel. I'm using GI broom. I'm going to start pulling and opening and cleaning. I'm going to sweat. I wouldn't touch the thyroid with any glandulars for the thyroid, but I would touch the adrenal glands with an adrenal one. I wouldn't touch the thyroid with anything, because increasing the production of the cells of the thyroid will increase the size of the polyps. You know, it's just acids in there, and just detox. Worst case scenario, you could always use some black salve on the throat, but you don't want to go there. You really want to move this out through the lymphatic system. You have to do it anyway. She's going to back up and have a future brain cancer. So removing the thyroid is not the answer, and she's not going to like how she feels. Depending which lobe it is. It doesn't even matter. You want to get those kidneys filtering. You want to get her up on a little bit of a fast right now. Even if it was, start with an all raw food diet for a week, then jump to an all fruit diet for another week, then jump to a 20, 30, 40-day grape fast, come off of that, balance out for a week, hit a 10-day lemon juice fast, really pull that baby out. That's how you get this one.
If you have cancer, you gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta move limp. Don't play the games. Don't play around with vegetables. Move yourself up into these higher astringents, right?
Use the foods.
Hit the foods and hit them hard. And then hit the lymphatic formulas and get self-draining, get yourself sweating. Hard to get yourself sweating in a case where the thyroid is hypothyroidism, because in time this will become a hypothyroid if it's not already. So I would say use sun or use steam saunas or dry saunas. To get yourself sweating. I wouldn't use infrared.
Go down in a hot yoga place.
Get down to a hot yoga place. Absolutely. Absolutely, and go for it. And this is important for her to get on and do this now. Because the removal of the thyroid, as we said, does not fix the problem. Her lymph is still at problem. So she can get tumors on the side of her neck, get it up in the head area, and it's just, she has to do this anyway. And at 28 years old, come on, honey, you can do it. We got all these teenagers doing it. We're rocking the boat.
You gotta do it.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Yeah. I'll do one more, and then we'll kind of close this off for the day. And I can go jeeping.
Nice. I saw your Jeep's nice.
Yeah, I like to take the top and get out a little bit. I had a lot of errands to do, and so I thought, I'm going to go jeeping today. Pretty day down here. 70s to 75 degrees out there.
Oh,
perfect.
It's a beauty.
Oh, it's a beauty. Gentle wind, white sand beaches. First out-of-body experience was over the water.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I love that, man. I mean, there's nothing like it.
You're laying in the water?
No, but I was on the beach.
On the beach.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Secondly, Morris. I can't tell which one is first. Maybe this was first. I received a resume from a guy who worked in a chicken turkey factory. Although I work in a white-collar service office. Right. OMG. The things that guy had to do on the job made me sad. I know it, guys. You don't want to know how they deal with chickens and turkeys. I mean, this is what you don't want to know. It's vomitous. I've seen these videos, and there's videos online that you can see that people have taken, and I can't even remember the names of them. They're just really in your face. And I am a member of PETA, and it's just like it's just inhumane. I'm a member of PETA and I recommend glandulars. It's interesting, but you know what? It's just the way it is. But this inhumane treatment of birds, it's a nightmare. So I can imagine this poor soul. Jesus. On the resume, he said he strategically hung the chickens, turkeys to sustain product. It gets worse. I'm not even going to go to what they do. It's just not even good. And these are still alive and what they do to them. I got a bag of non-organic lemons since they looked okay. Once I got home from the grocery store, I read the label more carefully. It said it was sprayed with petroleum, gases, and other unknown chemicals.
Damn.
That's what I say. Yuck. Well, you know what? You guys are learning so much. I'm learning so much. We're all learning and growing together, and we become one strong voice for righteousness and for truth and for simplicity and dignity. And it's just a bad world out there. If we could get people away from dead animal eating, I think that would be the best thing we could possibly do. And as everybody regains health of glands and stuff, we don't need glandulars, we don't need anything to help. We're rocking with the herbs. We've then cleaned a dark age era off of this planet, and those that walk will walk with higher awareness. I like it.
I like it.
I
dig it.
I dig it, baby. All right. Yeah, it's a blessing to always come to you guys. I appreciate your love and all that you do on yourselves. You're a great bunch. Keep yourselves awake. Keep yourselves always aware, and keep your joy up. Go have some fun tonight, right?
Cool.
Love you.
On the video!
On the video! Woo!